My name is James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I would request that if you have a child under the age of 15, that you don't let them watch this video. I generally give these PSAs at the beginning of videos just because I don't want you guys to say that James Williams made a video and there was a bunch of cussing in it. If you're new to my channel, then you should know that sadly, I'm not proud of this. Sadly, I cuss like a sailor. I probably can out-cuss any sailor on the planet. I wish I'd never ever heard of a cuss word in my life. Unfortunately, I can't blame society. I can only blame myself for not being accountable for the shit that flies out my mouth. But I am taking accountability, and I am acknowledging that I do that, as I just did right there. So this video is about accountability, acknowledging, and hatred. 3 of the things that kind of makes the world go round, don't you think? Let me explain why. No one wants to take accountability, especially when they've wronged someone and they know that they've wronged someone. No one wants to acknowledge the fact when they've wronged someone or when they've done something wrong, because if you acknowledge that you did something wrong, you have to admit that you're not perfect and you're human, but you want to be living up here when you're really just cruising through the middle, like me. Only my wave is like this. Okay? I'm not a saint. I do my damnedest to be honest. I take accountability for the things that I've done. And I acknowledge when I've done something wrong. Alright? I have a saying, and I say this all the time. So I'm going to say it because I live by it. If you said something, no matter how it came out your mouth, you may have misworded it, but you meant to say it on some level or another, or you would not have said it at all. And that's the thing about the human race, is that a lot of us say shit that we mean, but we don't word it right. See, that's not hard to take accountability for that, or acknowledging that you've done that. People hate me because I do that. I say a lot of shit. Most of the time if I said it, I meant it on some level or another. I may not have had the intelligence to word it properly. However, I do have the concept of being that I know I said that shit. I know I meant it when I said it. Not just in the heat of the moment. It's probably been something that's been building up for a few years. But I said it. I acknowledge that I said it. I take accountability that I said it. And I get a lot of hate for it. Alright? Because no one likes an honest person. Everybody says they want the truth, and then when you slap them in the face with the truth, they're like, well, that's not right. So here's my thing. Because a lot of people apologize, but I'm going to tell you what an apology actually does. Alright? An apology makes that person who scuffed up your shoes a little bit, or something problematic crossed your paths, it makes that person who's apologizing say they're sorry. True sorrow is also shown in action. You know, like if you bump into somebody and you knock their shit down and you say I'm sorry and you help them pick their shit up, you're not only showing that you're sorry as well as saying that you're sorry. You know, being apologetic. Where, same situation, you knock somebody's shit down, oh, I'm sorry, and keep walking. Time to play devil's advocate on that. You could have been in a hurry, which is true. That does happen. Sometimes people are just in a hurry, which is how you knock the person's stuff down in the first place, because being in a hurry means sometimes we don't pay attention to the shit we're doing at the time that we're doing it. Alright? And wise enough to know that there are 2 sides to every coin. The person who was walking might not have been looking where they were walking while you were jogging through. You may have had your headphones on and your sunshades, and they were just probably thumbing through their shit, or, as tradition, texting. So, neither one of you were paying attention. Now, if you both are apologetic and you both apologize and you both acknowledge and you both take accountability for it, that's like a true apology. But most of the time, when somebody stomps your toe, they say they're sorry. It's not because they meant to stomp your toe. It's because it was truly an accident. And you can truly have accidents. I do truly believe that accidents do happen. But a lot of times, some people just say they're sorry to resolve an issue just to get that shit out of the way. And that's not really a real apology. Alright? Because you could bump into somebody and you didn't mean to do it. That's fine. You can be in the entertainment business and leap through the air, and it's supposed to miss, but sometimes people miss their mark and they connect. I know I've been hit plenty of times by not missing my mark, but having a co-star miss their mark while we're doing a fight scene, and I'll eat one. Alright? They do apologize. They didn't mean to hit me, but it does happen. And in that business, you apologize a lot. Especially when you're making an action scene and the scene fits the film, where you have to run up the wall, spring off the wall, and deck somebody in the chin. Now, they're supposed to roll with you, so there's actually not supposed to be any contact. So from the camera angle, it's supposed to be like right there. When their fist is here, you're there. So you're rolling with the punch. Sadly, choreographing doesn't always go as planned when the camera starts rolling. You can rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and get that shit down perfect, and then when they say action and the camera starts rolling, things go wrong. Trust me on that. I know. I've been a victim of that quite a few times, actually. But you get up and you keep going. Now, let's talk about hatred, because this is the hardest part of the fucking video. Alright? Hatred is something that is in us all, but some of us, it's bred in us and bred more to the surface. Most of us, we have some form of hate in us, and it festers, and we can suppress it for quite some time until we reach fuck it. Once we reach fuck it, that festering boil of anger and mixed of hate and disgust and disdain will pop. And when it pops, I'm sorry, there may be some victims. And when that happens, you know, all the I'm sorry's in the world won't take back an ass whooping, because once you do something, you can't undo it. It's the same thing when you pull the trigger or pull back the string on your bow and release that arrow. Somebody walks into the path. Yeah, you're sorry that that person walked into the path, but you can't pull the arrow back unless you have like some serious telekinetics. Good luck with that. But the thing with hatred is such a small word. It's 4 words. Well, excuse me, hatred actually is a sub or an extension of hate, which is a 4-letter word. But what it does is, hatred is an emotion that we all don't have control over. Some of us live off of hate. Some of us fuel off of hate. I myself am a rageaholic. I'm at my best when I'm pissed off. It's like I'm in that fighting zone. When I get pissed off, I get focused. Everything is more clear. I can get things done a little faster. I can do things without having the anxiety. It's kind of like, alright, let me put it in a better term for people who know who I am actually in real life. If I'm in a fight, it's more likely that if I'm not scared or if I'm not pissed off, then I'm probably going to lose that fight. And when I say scared, I don't mean like shaking like Cringer on He-Man and shit. I mean scared of what I might have to do to someone to keep them from bringing bodily harm to me. After all, at 45, I don't heal like I used to. So I'm going to be in it to win it. And pray like hell I can still take a hit. Alright? Because in a fight, it really determines how many fights you've been in your lifetime. Have you always been lucky? Or have you been able to defuse a situation by just like walking away until a person doesn't give you that option? For me, every fight I've been in, I've been afraid of what I would have to do to somebody to keep them the hell off of me. And my very first few fights when I was 6 years old, I was more afraid of what would be due to me if I lost the fight. Now, self-hatred. Self-hatred is something that unfortunately has been brewed in a lot of people of color, especially black Americans, because other black Americans have pretty much screwed it up for everyone else. There are decent black Americans and there are non-decent black Americans, and y'all know who you are. I fall right in that middle. I am not nowhere near a decent black American, but I'm not so close to the undecent black Americans. I walk that thin line because sometimes it takes an undecent black person to beat another undecent black person. In a fight, well, pretty much anything goes in a fight when you're on the streets. So if you're in there, you've been watching the YouTube videos and I've been talking about them, get off my hair, get off my hair. Well, here's the thing. If I got your hair, It's because it was there. And it was the first thing that I could grab to turn the tides of battle into my favor or to completely eliminate you. Now, you know, I have long hair. Yeah, got a little samurai do going on. And the thing with hatred is that it doesn't necessarily always go away. You have to learn how to channel hatred. Because if you don't, you'll wind up like the current administration in charge and just hate everybody. Because of, you know, their economic status, their inability to be as wealthy, or more importantly, their skin color. I'm not picking on the current administration in this video. I'm just pointing that out as an example because he's like primetime racist dude next to the dude that caused all this BS in my town of Charlottesville and teaching young people to become martyrs of hate by plowing through people with their car. Now, hatred is one of those things that, you know, it can be avoided. It can be changed. It can be stopped. The problem is, most people don't want to acknowledge it or take accountability for their hateful actions, amongst others. I will make a second video now because this video is like 11 and some change.